Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Riverfront. This is episode number 467 of the world's most dangerous podcast. I'm your host, Chad Dotson. This is the show, of course, where we talk about the Cincinnati Reds and occasionally Jumbo Diaz. Joining me tonight, I'm Chad Dotson. If I may have said that, I don't know. I'm already confused about what we're talking about. With me this week, welcome back to the show, Chris Garber.
Howdy.
Howdy
Glad to be here.
indeed.
It's spring training time.
Are you just, I can tell, but I don't know what it is. There's something about, I'm looking at you on the screen here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can look at Chris. There's something about you that makes me feel like you're really optimistic right now, really excited about the spring ball.
I am self-proclaimed Mr. Positive tonight. We will see how long that name lasts, but we're 60 seconds into the podcast, and so far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. So before we go much further, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe button, listen to the audio version, subscribe, follow, whatever. Let's get through that. Chris, now the first spring training game is this weekend. Saturday, in fact. The Reds will have Brandon Williamson on the mound. Brandon Williamson. Now I am, we're not going to fake positivity here, but Brandon Williamson is one that I'm actually interested to see, not necessarily what he does this spring, because what happens in the spring, we've said this every year for all 19 seasons of this podcast. People make too much out of spring training, but Williamson's one of the guys I'm watching. If he takes a step forward, he can help the team this year, I think. Right?
Sure. I'm positive of it.
So excellent. So that's your news of the week. Brandon Williamson. Brandon, don't call me Scott Williamson, I think is what we're going to call him.
Don't call him Brandon Clausen either.
Ooh, Brandon Clausen, the immortal. Brandon Clausen. Yeah, please don't call him Brandon Clausen. Much rather he be Scott Williamson, frankly. So let's just run quickly through what there is other news this week. The first is this one. And I fear this becoming a running theme, and I don't intend it this way, of kind of gently mocking the spring training coverage, because it's exactly the same stories you get every single year. And that's not the fault of, Bobby Nightingale and Charlie. They're perfectly fine. They're doing a good job. They work hard. They write the typical beat writer stories. You get it. But the one we had this week, which I was really excited about, was a piece in the Inquirer where Elly De La Cruz has one goal in his first spring training camp with the Reds. Chris, can you guess what Elly De La Cruz's one goal is in his first spring training with the big league?
Eat the world's biggest hoagie?
No, but now that would be news. That would be something I want to read. He wants to make the team.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I didn't read the article, but do we know, on a scale of 1 to 21 years, is this the best shape he's been in his life, or like seventh best?
I'll be honest. I don't know that they've dug that deep into it yet. That's probably a second or third week of spring training story. I guess we are in the second or third week. So he's in really good shape. I haven't actually seen where anyone's in the best shape of their life, although I have seen that Nick Senzel and Jose Barrero have made swing changes.
Well, that's good. I like to see when guys make swing changes. Wasn't it Jonathan India who, in the same article, claimed both last year and this year being in the best shape of his life? But last year he was so jacked, and now he's decided that was wrong. Now, while it was the best shape of his life, now he's a little bit lighter and leaner, and that will also be a different kind of, but still the best shape of his life.
He did say that, and that's basically the way he put it. I was too jacked last year. I was in too much the best shape of my life. So now I'm in the better best shape of my life. Is it possible? How's it possible to have 2 straight years of the best shape of your life when you're at his age? I mean, I guess he literally probably is in the best shape of his life, you would think, at that age. But
I think a professional athlete, 25, 26 years old, it's probably true. I mean, it's a lot more true than it is when I say it.
Yeah. And we mock that because every year there is a story in every paper, every team around the country, I'm sure. So-and-so's in the best shape of his life. Disappointed we're not getting a chance to have since they cut bait on, not getting a chance to see the Mike Moustakas best shape of his life. I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, I think he was last year, I guess you'd say oval.
That's a shape.
He's moving towards like pure sphere.
I wish him the best of luck. I don't wish any ill will on him. I hope that. I just hope there's a golden corral near wherever he lives.
He said,
no, that's
going to say, may the buffets always be open.
Oh, that is horrible. That's really unkind, and I'm really embarrassed.
No, I mean, look, it is kind of unkind, but the dude was taking like what, $18 million, and literally, as they say, had one job,
and it was noticeable that he kept it's trending in the wrong direction constantly,
and he couldn't be on the field,
right?
I mean, he missed 23 games with gout, I believe.
I think that was the.
We'll have to check on that, but.
Oh boy, are we really doing this? Are we really?
I'm sorry, you got me into this.
It's always Moustakas with you. Every time we talk, all you want to do is talk Moustakas. Elly De La Cruz, back to him. Did you see he has a uniform number now, number 44? Uniform number 44. No pressure, kid.
I mean, has there been a bad number 44 on the Reds?
Never. But do you know who the first 44 was for the Reds? A little trivia time for you. Harry Kraft, 1938.
Harry Kraft.
The second one
center
was
fielder. Harry
center
Kraft?
fielder. Yes. Yule Blackwell wore it one season.
That dude should have been number 1 or 11.
If you've never seen The Whip, Yule Blackwell, exactly. So of course you were sort of making a joke. Has there ever been a bad player? But there really hasn't ever been a bad player with number 44.
Incredible.
Aristides Aquino.
Fun. It's right up there, and like absolutely more favorite players of mine have worn 44 than any other number on the Reds.
Right. Eric Davis, obviously you're talking about, or were you talking about John Roper?
Check Eric Davis.
John
Roper once gave my grandpa an autograph at the mall.
That's interesting, because my grandmother once gave John Roper an autograph. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know how that happened, but
same mall.
Same mall. It was bizarre. That's a John Roper anecdote. I didn't see that one coming. Adam Dunn, obviously, right? Number 44. Mike Cameron. I liked Mike Cameron.
Big Mike Cameron guy. Some days I like to think about the alternate universe where Mike Cameron stayed with the Reds and Ken Griffey Jr. stayed with the Mariners. Wonder how that would have played out.
I don't either, but that's an interesting alternate universe. I think that's going to be the next Doctor Strange and the outfield of madness.
Multiverse. Well, it gives interestingly, it gives the 2023 Reds $3.5 million more to play with.
That's true, because they're still paying Junior Griffey. Any more memorable number 44s you want to mention?
Mike Leake.
Mike Leake, best shoplifter in Reds history. Let's see. There's one more. Oh, Charlie Liebrant. Had to go with Charlie Liebrant, number 44. So
fine player.
Yeah, we've just spent a while talking.
Future Royal.
Exactly. What other news this week? Graham Ashcraft. You've heard of that guy?
It's about the extent of it.
Yeah, he was throwing his first full squad workout. He was throwing live batting practice, and he takes one off the foot. Somebody hit a comebacker. It was Jake Fraley. No, it wasn't. It was TJ Friedel. Sorry. I'm good at reading.
Could you truly tell the difference between those two guys if they were both knocking on your door right now?
No, I could. Friedel's got longer hair, I think, but actually, now that I say
Fraley had long hair too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Are we sure they're different? That they're different players?
I mean, if you see them at the same time, yeah, I guess you'll figure it out. But if only one of them was knocking at the door,
yeah,
like Uber Eats,
I know it was one of the two. Yeah. So, Ashcraft's okay, I guess.
His toes okay.
His toes okay. Now, Chris, I gotta warn you. I do. Again, if you're looking on YouTube, you can probably tell. I think you're seated, right? You're not standing.
I'm braced.
Okay, I want to make sure you're ready for this news. Okay. Nick Senzel's going to miss a few Reds spring training games.
Why does he have like a visa problem or a court hearing or something somewhere?
Yes, he could not get back from I don't know, Aruba. I don't know.
Well, what would cause Nick Senzel to miss games?
Well, it turns out he's not feeling very well.
Oh, does he have COVID again?
Yeah, he does for the 8th time. No, he had surgery in the offseason, and he's not yet ready. Joey Votto is also not ready, but that's not as funny to say because poor Nick Senzel, bless his heart,
And Joey Votto was really cool.
Nick Senzel is the Nick Massett of Sean Marshall's. I don't even know what that means, but it seems like something that our buddy Wick Terrell from Red Reporter would say. So the guy's perpetually, he's almost back. I hate it, but Votto, he looks pretty close. So the other bad news is Matt Reynolds is still with the Reds. He's also
really
good.
I thought they released that guy like 3 times.
Dude, they hand out minor league deals with invitations to spring training like they're candy.
I don't get it. Like all that stuff does is irritate any fan who's like not chugging Kool-Aid by the gallon.
Right.
Like, I guess you need warm bodies in there to like, so somebody like the real players have somebody to play catch with. But like, I saw Ozzie Smith put him up against a brick wall. They can throw the ball off the wall. You don't need a John Philip Sousa, whoever the other guy they signed today.
Slow your roll, Chief. Slow your roll.
Play catch with them.
That's Bennett Sousa, first of all. And we will hear no slander on Bennett Sousa's name, former member of the University of Virginia Cavaliers. Left-handed pitcher taken off waivers from the Chicago White Sox. And to make room for him on the 40-man roster, the Reds moved Vladimir Gutierrez to the 60-day injured list from that Tommy John surgery. Wahoo wah. No, I wish someone, I'm not going to do it. Because, I may do it. I'm just insane enough to do it. But I want to see the numbers on which team has signed the most minor league guys with invitations to spring training and how many more the Reds have done than anyone else.
And I honestly, and maybe it's just the fact that like they put like a Facebook post and a tweet out with like a headshot and a like welcome to the Reds, like, Larry Dallas or whatever. And you're like, I think the names match something, but I don't know who this guy is. Wasn't he on the Reds in 2017?
Yes.
And
yes.
The next thing you know, they're wishing him a happy birthday. I'm like, just like get into a game before we go through this process.
Yeah. Sign 45 of those guys if you want. The 3 that make it to the team will celebrate their birthday. Let's have a tweet. Let's have an Instagram post about those guys because they'll be around for 6 months and playing far too often probably. But so
if you're like a checked out fan like me, I can't tell the difference. Like they got all these guys coming in who are just like sound like guys. I'm like, I don't know a Jake Fraley from a TJ Friedel, from a Bennett Sousa, from a Philip Gosselin.
But let's again.
That's on me. Okay, it's on me.
No, first of all, it's 2 UVA guys you just slandered.
I know.
Philip Gosselin and Bennett Sousa. But no, why would you need to know any of them? Literally, even if you're a hardcore Reds fan, even if you're really, hugging prospects all day, every day, these guys are going to be gone in 3 months or 6 months or 8 months. None of these guys will be on the next good Reds team. They're a roster filler, and so good. I hope they do well. I wish them all the best, but they're going to be future obscure former Reds, and we're going to be laughing about them in 5 years because we don't remember them, and we should not remember them.
So, yeah, the question is whether they just get cut or they bring back a mini haul.
Exactly. Need some mini hauls.
So you're basically saying these are mannequins whose purpose is to wear the uniform that we're cheering for.
Yeah. They have to have a certain number of bodies wearing those uniforms. And so, you got to sign some guys. If you're not going to sign real players, you have to have, sort of players, I guess. Justin Dunn, more injury news. Shoulder problems, discomfort in his shoulder. And it occurred just before he arrived in spring training and then again in his first bullpen session. So he may be out for the entirety of spring training. Not good. He's had the problem late last year, and because it's been a continual problem, 18 months of continuous shoulder problems, but no surgery yet.
Well, let's just wait and see.
It may work.
That's tough because he's a pitcher, right?
He is, yes.
They use that shoulder.
You kind of need that shoulder, yeah. And he's a pitcher that had if he's ever going to get a real shot, this would be his time. There's a team spots
for it.
Yeah. Did you know his?
Was he a Hall? Was he part of a Hall?
He was part of a Hall. Yeah, he was.
He was the Jesse Winker, Gino Suarez Hall.
Yeah.
Along with Brandon Williamson and Jake Fraley. This is really the Seattle Trade podcast.
It's the Hall of Fame, is what we're calling those guys. The Inner Circle Hall of Fame. Do you know anything about Justin Dunn's family?
I doubt that it's Adam Dunn.
It is not, but his younger brother Ryan plays for the University of Virginia Cavaliers basketball team.
Oh, good for them.
Ranked number 6 until the next poll comes out because they got destroyed by Boston College.
Hey, guess where Justin Dunn went to college?
Where did Justin Dunn go to college?
Boston College.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Man, it's come
awkward
full circle.
night last night when the Dunn family text.
I'd like to see what Justin texted to his brother after that one. See, is there any
fly,
other
Eagle fly?
Even players that play for Boston College, they really care whether they win or lose. I mean, I'm not sure that I've never met a Boston College fan.
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie, yeah. Doug Flutie was cheering for UVA. Oh gosh, there's got to be some other news. Oh, here's the news. This is really the news I wanted to get your opinion on. The Reds re-signed a stalwart from the bullpen last year. Hunter Strickland, welcome back, Hunter Strickland. Man, this is exciting.
This is exactly what I was talking about. Like, why are they? I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're bragging about it. And it feels like they're rubbing our nose in it. He's like 39 years old. There's another move this week, right? The other move that was just the same move, basically.
Guys, slow down, man. We've got to analyze these in turn.
All right.
Hunter Strickland was genuinely, if you look at any number, I don't care, the advanced analytics, whatever, Hunter Strickland was just not good last year. But did you see the praise he got from I think a couple of beat writers that shall remain nameless, and maybe from David Bell, I don't know, but he was available 162 games. He's a guy that was available every night. That was I think that's what David Bell said, actually. He's a guy that was available to me every night. That's
delightful. I mean, yeah. I mean, he was up there. He was back up there with like some of your all-time like biggest disaster Reds, like Jason Marquis level disaster Reds.
We got Jason Marquis. The other guy you're talking about, of course, is just another wonderful, wonderful pitcher. 6.38 ERA last year for the Reds. That was immediately after a season with Philadelphia where he had a 6.75 ERA, which followed a season with Toronto where he had a 7.22 ERA. Chase Anderson, welcome back. Chase Anderson, 35 years old. I mean, what more do you want out of a guy?
It's like they don't have a scouting department. And in fact, the only phone numbers they have are last year's team. Like, well, who can we get in here?
Scroll down my contact list.
Can we get Kurt Casale? Is he still here? I mean, maybe the old man's doing this.
Well, maybe.
Like he started, like his memory got a little shady, and he's like, "Well, where's Casale? Brett Boone? Where's Brett Boone?"
Brett Boone. Oh. We only have 3 catchers on the roster now. Is Eddie Tobbins still available? Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah, let's get him there. Where's whatever the guy's name that Johnny Cueto kicked? LaRue.
Yeah, Jason LaRue. Oh, and we're laughing because it's the reason why they're doing this is because they're not trying to actually get major league players on this year's team. Now, some people are gonna. I don't know, whatever. Enjoy the Reds however you want to enjoy the Reds, but they're clearly not trying to get actual major league talent. They're trying to assemble enough minor league talent so that maybe a few of them will perform cromulently, and you can put together a team that will only lose, 95 games or something. And look at our shiny prospects, which I'm happy to do. I'm excited about a lot of these young guys. I'm excited to see what some of these young kids do. But that was essentially that's what they're doing. They have no.
It's hard. This time of year, it's fun because you look out there and you say, who will be the next Jose Barrero?
What do you mean by that? I'm not sure I like where that's going.
Well, like, a really exciting, talented, highly touted, and rated shortstop with all the tools, highly rated, and they just need a chance to get out there and show what they can do. And the good news is the Reds have got like 5 guys lined up to keep repeating that.
There you go. And if one of them pans out, then that'll be proof that
system works.
The system. Trust the process. Trust the process. Someone was. Did you see that where Rob Manfred said, "We have to convene a Gold Star Commission because the economic system is the Mets and Padres are spending too much, and so we have these teams tanking now. We just have to do something about this." It's a red alert.
They didn't set up any kind of commission to stop teams from tanking. They're fine with that. But boy, as soon as somebody starts spending money, people get real uncomfortable. The narrative gets blown up, and it's fact-finding and blue ribbons and special rules and commissions, and what a load.
Especially when it's a small market like San Diego. Small market owners can't.
Small market. Most of those people, by the time the season starts, they realize they don't have any chance at all. They don't have any chance to compete.
I saw that on a PowerPoint presentation somewhere. I'm not sure where.
I should make that my background. What if there's a way to get that screenshot?
Yeah, really.
Put it on a T-shirt and wear it down to the ballpark.
Oh, mercy. Mercy. That's what we say around my parts. Mercy. There was something else I wanted to discuss, and now I can't think what it was. We have some viewer mail questions, but before we do that, how about the topic of the week? A little bit of a different topic this week. The last couple of weeks on the show, I've opened up packs of old baseball cards. And
it's old, tired act.
It's a tired act, but I got to tell you, we got really good feedback. And so, Chris, I thought you and I might open a couple packs here real quick and comment on whatever players we see in between. Now, here's the pack I'm going to open, and then you can show which one you've chosen to open. Right. I have a pack of 1989 Fleer baseball cards, notable for the Billy Ripken error card. Google it if you want. Don't Google it with your kids in the room.
NSFW. I have a pack of full-sized 1987 Topps leader cards. These are full-size cards. My hand is just enormous.
Your hand is really enormous. Is that an optical illusion? How did you do that?
These are mini cards.
Outstanding.
And this is the best top set of all time, the 1987 wood grain.
Oh, man. Literally my favorite baseball card set of all time, 87 Topps. That Larkin card from that is maybe my favorite card of all time. So hopefully you get some good ones.
They don't do enough of that anymore. Like the guys just like posing randomly.
Right.
Like taking a drink of water or tying their shoe.
Yeah, they have
sideways card guy tying his shoe.
Cards they don't make them like they used to, but
all right, anyway, who's going first?
Here, I'll go ahead and go first because I have a logo sticker of the New York Metropolitans, and you got to say,
put that in your sticker book.
Exactly. That's a again. If you're not watching on YouTube, sorry, but this is the 1989 Mets logo, the baseball with the city skyline behind it. That's a solid logo. You got to concede.
That is a good logo. I'm a fan of it. I endorse it.
All right, who you got? Who's your first one?
All right, so this set is. Oh my goodness.
What do we have?
Sorry if I've done this joke, but I can win a trip for 4 to spring training 1988.
Great Scott!
My daughter's like, can we fill it out? I'm like, how do you think that's going to work? All right, so these cards,
in the mail
these cards are leaders. So you're only going to get the elite of the major leagues in 1987.
Outstanding.
Von Hayes.
Oh, the immortal Von Hayes.
Von Hayes ranked first in doubles in the National League in 1986.
Everyone listening knew that. I had a buddy who was a big Phillies fan for some reason. I don't know why. And he had a Von Hayes poster in his bedroom. He also had a waterbed. I don't know if they're related. It's a true story.
Von Hayes also tied for the league lead in runs.
Tied for the league lead in runs. Here's my first actual card. Future World Series hero, Sid Bream.
Sid Bream. Too soon.
With the Pirates, sweet mustache. I mean, you gotta concede that's a really solid mustache. We don't need a mustache.
Solid. Sid Bream is a solid card.
Absolutely. All right, next one. Here, I'll give you my next one.
Go ahead. I've only got 7.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me go ahead then.
Yeah.
I think we got this guy one of the last 2 weeks. Minnesota Twins catcher Tim Laudner. You remember Tim Laudner? He
looks like he was about 2 seconds away from being ready for that picture.
Yeah, he's almost there. He's almost ready. Tim Laudner.
What? This is ridiculous, Chad. Because look who I have in my second card out of the deck.
Another Von Hayes.
I told you. I guess he did lead the league in 2 categories. I've got a sneaking suspicion that these packs were opened, looted, and resealed.
Well, here's my counter argument to there. If someone looted that pack, would they have left 2 Von Hayes cards? I think they would have taken those.
Well, they might have. They might have.
Did you collect a lot of cards when you were younger?
I did. I had tons and tons. They sold them at the youth field, the concession stand. Yeah. And, they had the deal there where you'd get a free drink after the game, and usually some parent would pony up 25 or 50 cents per kid for you to buy some Swedish fish or something. And I'd always go to the cards.
Well, so when you got your card, how disappointed were you when you got a checklist card? What a waste of a card, a checklist like I just got in this pack. Did you get a checklist?
I got a checklist. I got 7 cards. 2 of them are Von Hayes, and 1 is checklist. Number 1 through 77. I'm just going to – that's the whole set. There's only 77 in this set. And I want to tell you some of the top 77 players in baseball included Bob Horner.
Of course.
Don Asse.
Yes. Well, kids love mispronouncing his name.
I really love saying Don Asse. Dave Kingman. Lots of home runs, lots of strikeouts. Yeah,
Kingman would have thrived in today's game.
And speaking of that, all right. So anyway, those are some of the highlights.
Well, how about this guy? Gary Redus with the Pirates, but former Red, Gary Redus.
Former Red, and I believe holder of like a post-World War II batting average record in professional baseball, right?
Oh, I think you're right. Let's see if that's on here, if they have his minor league numbers.
He hit like 464 or something at
452 in Tampa, 1980.
Yeah.
No, that was his at bats.
Oh, I think it was in Billings.
462 in Billings in 78, yes. I'm good at reading.
He can still hit, and he's still like around the game. I don't know if he's coaching high school or like giving lessons or something like that, but you can. I think he's got a son who's a basketball coach.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Kenny Redus?
I think Gary Redus Jr.
Oh, okay. My story about Gary Redus that some of you, if you've been here a while, have heard is that my first game I ever went to at Riverfront Stadium, Gary Redus stole home.
Pretty exciting.
I remember this guy.
Who you got?
I remember thinking this guy was pretty good. Jim Presley, Mariners third baseman.
Yes. Yeah. Chris Berman had gave him a nickname.
That's I don't remember that, but that's
the Hound Dog.
I'm going to say that's easy one. Jim Presley. Oh, here's a guy I hated. Cardinals outfielder Vince Coleman.
Reds outfielder Vince Coleman.
That's true. Hey, did you get any more Von Hayes cards?
A whole lot of Von Hayes. I have this. Now, this would have been a big treat as a 1987 baseball fan. Number 2 in AL RBI. Jose Canseco.
Ever tell you about my cousin who he used to he didn't like baseball at all, but whenever we'd all go get baseball cards, sometimes he'd grab a pack too, and we'd always laugh because every time he'd talk about the Mariners or the Paters, he liked the Paters, and he wasn't real bright, but he liked that guy, Jose Canseco. Loved Jose Canseco. These are true stories. This is a little slice of life in Southwest Virginia.
Yeah. I read somewhere the other day, they're like, don't make fun of the people who mispronounce things because they learned it from a book. And I think about what I thought the character Hermione from Harry Potter was for the first 2 books of those. I was 26 years old or something. I can't. Yeah. Thank God they made a movie.
Yeah, really. That reminds me that when my kids were little, we every night I'd read a chapter from those. We read through the books with them. I'd read a chapter to them, and my my daughter used to get so upset with me, so upset because every time the first time in every chapter that Hermione came up, I would call her Hermione. And my daughter got so upset every night. I mean, she would stew about it and couldn't listen to the rest of the chapter. And I kept doing it. This is how good a father I was.
I thought that was it. I also, until I was probably 15, I'd only met people whose name's Sean, who spelled it Shawn.
Yeah.
So I'm reading these books about Sean's, and I'm like, it's a scene.
Scene?
Scene. Okay. Just roll with it.
My middle name is Sean. Did you know that?
No, I did not. Is that true?
It is true.
Scene?
It's
Scene
not
or
scene.
Shawn?
Neither. Shon.
Ooh.
Shon. Yeah.
Nice. We have one of those in my town.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We have two. We have two in my town. Me and my son. Marty Barrett, Red Sox second baseman. Marty Barrett.
Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I liked him.
I agree. Looked like turning the double play. Frank White sliding in. Yeah, Frank White sliding into second. Frank White's solid player.
Very solid. He's lucky that wasn't Hal McRae.
Oh, yeah, really. Hal McRae would have taken him out.
I have the National League saves leader.
Oh, let me see. No, John Franco?
Todd Worrell.
Todd Worrell, yeah, of the Cardinals.
Number one, games finished and saves.
I'm guessing he wasn't number one in games finished.
No, he was. Number one in games finished, number three in games played.
No, there's no way. I guarantee you that the Reds had 15 guys that finished more games than him.
Well, it's a fair point. Fair point. Dave Parker.
And none of them were pitchers, but yeah.
True.
Here's
Now this guy is number 4 in the American League in home runs, and they don't put this on the card, but he's number 1 in strikeouts.
Number 4 in the American League. Well, that's got to be Dave Kingman.
Close. Rob Deere.
Rob Deere. Oh man, you remember Rob Deere? I love that guy.
He was a big dude that swung it.
I think he was 30 years ahead of his time, though. I mean, he would have crafted a career over the last.
Yeah.
10 years.
I don't know if he walked any.
Yeah, that's true. I don't
they
know.
don't have on base on here. 72 walks.
Well, that's
179 Ks.
Oh man. Ironically, that's my single season record in Little League. I struck out that many times as well. Still a Little League record in our
Is that right? Most strikeouts?
Yeah. I wish they hadn't put it up on the, they have a big banner with all the records. I wish
they should have given you that plaque.
That's right. Here's another guy whose name we mispronounced, Jerry Roos.
Yes, Jerry Roos.
Jerry Royce.
What team is he on there?
He's on the White Sox. And
why is he holding a bat?
That's what I was going to say. He's swinging a bat.
It's an American League pitcher.
Yeah.
Posing with a bat. It's pretty
fantastic.
Good.
It is good.
Also a former Red.
It's true. A former Red.
Lousy a lot of dudes wind up on the Reds at the tail end of things.
Oh, I just hope I get a Dennis Rasmussen. That's what I'm hoping for here, really.
Wasn't he like the second best pitcher on the team the one year he was there?
Yeah, I think so. Like he was. Wait, like 85 or something.
Yeah, rough. All right, I got one for you.
All right,
tied for number 1 in game-winning RBI with 16.
Remember that was a stat.
Yeah, tied for second in home runs.
In which league?
National. Glenn Davis.
Oh, Glenn Davis, first
base.
base.
He hit 31 home runs and only struck out 72 times.
It's a different time. It was a different era.
It was. I mean, look at the mustache.
Oh,
very different.
Again, with the mustaches. He was a good player.
Yep.
Now, this is an obscure player. I'm not sure if you ever heard of this guy, but we'll show it anyway. Davey Concepcion.
His swing looks a lot like Jerry Royce's.
It does in a lot of ways. Let's compare the two, shall we? Oh, this is why you need to be on the YouTubes. Look at that. From two different sides
exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Concepcion was still playing at that time, huh?
Oh, yeah, Concepcion. That is another way. Yeah, Concepcion, long career. Good shortstop. Dave Concepcion. We'll have to give that one out to a lucky fan who sends me a self-addressed stomped envelope. Stomped.
Stomp it yourself.
Exactly. Do you have any others? Are you done? Is that your pack?
I got more packs, but go ahead. I think we've done all we need to do there.
I think so. Dave
Actually,
Martinez.
I'm going to open up and see if I got more Von Hayeses.
Do that. See if you got more Von Hayeses. I got a Dave Martinez, outfielder for the Expos. I miss
Former
the
Red.
Expos. Also former Red. It's true. How about Ray? Don't call me Luis Quinones.
Not a former Red.
No.
Is he a Met? Oh, he's a Mariner.
He's a Mariner here, but Ray, R-E-Y is how you spell it. The Reds did have a player who spelled his name R-E-Y, right? Ray
Olmedo. Olmedo.
Oh, man. Tubagoo. Rick Russell.
No. Terry Forster's a Tubagoo.
No, I know he wasn't literally David Letterman's Tubagoo. But
yeah. 80, what was it, 87 when Russell had a really great stretch run of the Giants, or was that 89?
I think 89. I think he started in the
World Series,
the
right?
All-Star game, maybe, and then went to the World Series.
Yeah. He looked like somebody's dad made their way into the major leagues.
He did. I shouldn't make fun of him because that's the way I look.
Right.
I feel bad about that. This is why we need to censor ourselves. This is bad. We're going to get canceled.
We're making fun of a lot of people.
We are.
And I'm in no place to talk.
And me either, but yet we are.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Did you get another Von Hayes?
Got a Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken was good. What did he lead in?
Cal Ripken
Games played?
Game-winning RBI, tied with somebody else. I don't know.
It's so funny. It was like a 3-year stretch where that was an official MLB statistic.
I used to get excited because Dave Parker always did real well in it.
Yeah, he was great.
I'd open up the newspaper and Parker's third in GWRBI.
I love it. That stuff was so important. I don't remember this guy, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, Chris. Jim
Whalewander. All right.
Really? Whalewander?
Jim Whalewander was I was, for some freakish reason, a big fan of him. He was on the 87 Tigers when they were making that really good pennant race against the Blue Jays. Mm-hmm. When they got Doyle Alexander from the Braves for John Smoltz. They broke Tony Fernandez's wrist, all that fun stuff. And there was an article in Sports Illustrated about Jim Whalewander. And he was like some kind of a flake, and he like read books, and he bought his clothes from the Salvation Army, and he wore Doc Martens or something. And I still have it in a box over here. Like I cut that article out and was like, this dude's cool. I think he was fast. I'm not sure like why he was in the major leagues really.
I'm going to send you his card.
Thank you.
From Illinois.
That's a big fan of Jim Whalewander.
Okay. So I don't not remember him at all, and yet you have anecdotes about Jim Whalewander.
Yeah, big fan of Jim Whalewander. I'm looking it up. He hit 241 in that year.
It's better than I could have done.
I had 328 on base, 389 slugging. I mean, he had some extra base hits, but he had 50 at bats. I don't know what the deal was.
He hit 455 in 88 for Toledo.
Well, he was only playing. That was only 4 games.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I couldn't hit that in 4 games.
That's fair point.
So I do remember this guy, outfielder for the Dodgers, John Shelby.
T-Bone. I don't know what
T-Bone.
I don't know. Is there like a thing called a T-Bone Shelby? I
have no idea.
His nickname should have been Cobra.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Shelby Cobra. You ever watch Ford versus Ferrari?
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Shelby.
I knew that sounded familiar. Oh man, that's a great movie, by the way. I started watching Formula One racing this year.
Yeah. Is there like a learning curve, or you just turn it on and you figure it out?
Here's what you do: you watch. You watch. They don't go round and round. You
go around.
Yeah,
and around,
sort of.
right?
Yeah, I guess. Watch the Netflix documentary series "Drive to Survive," and somebody said, "Watch that. You like sports, so you'll like it." I'm like, I don't care anything about racing. But then I watched Ford versus Ferrari. I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool movie." And then I said, "All right, I'll dive into it." Watched him. I don't binge watch anything. I watched every one of them. I said, "Well, this past season, I started watching Formula One races, and it was actually fun. You pick a team, and So
now, Now, see, you're into the soccer.
I am into the soccer, yes.
And how long did it take you to figure out the soccer?
Well, I've been a pretty big fan of soccer, I think, this is like the 14th season. I've been watching it for a while. Okay. And so I'm expecting sometime in the next 10 years, I will
You understand what's going
figure
on.
it out.
I mean, that's how I am with hockey. Like, I could watch 2 seasons of hockey and I'd be like,
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what happened. Like, there's like a couple guys who like score goals, and I'm like, oh, that's cool how they like flip the puck around. But like defensemen, I don't know who's good. I don't have any idea.
Who are these guys that keep coming on and off the ice? I don't know who these guys are.
I mean, I approached the NFL season last year like I was in a graduate class.
Well,
I was like reading all this material and studying and trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And I did enjoy it, but I got a limited capacity, and it's shrinking every day.
Well, I got into soccer once I kind of gave up on football. I was like, I don't want to watch this really anymore. So it took me a while, but pick a team. Same with the racing. Pick a team, pull for them. Don't pick Ferrari is my recommendation if you do watch Formula One, because they are Ford. Like pick Ford. Pick Ford. Don't pick Ferrari. Yes. Last card of the pack, and then we got a few viewer mail questions.
All right.
Brady Anderson.
He looks skinny. Look at that skinny young man.
He could never hit home runs. I don't.
Never. Would never happen.
No. What's his career high in home runs here? Let's look and see.
8?
Career high in home runs. He had 11 in the minors. So 3 was his career high in the majors up to this point. So I'm sure he never hit any home runs.
Does this dude look like he's getting ready to hit 27 home runs?
He does not. No. Wade Boggs. He had that one season, didn't he?
Yeah. He had 32 career home runs going into 87, and I think he hit like 26 or 27 that year.
Did anyone else hit a lot of home runs that year? I don't remember that happening. Jose Canseco, I think, did.
Jose Canseco. What did all right, you're the guy who knows politics. Who was the congressman, and what did he call Mark McGuire? Was it Kerry?
I don't know this story. I do know politics. I thought I did, but I don't know this story.
Well, you know when Congress hauled all the steroid guys into Congress,
right?
To do like
the Senate
hearings.
That wasn't the Senate, right? Or was it?
No, I guess it wasn't the Senate.
It had to be in the House if it was an investigative committee. So it was a congressman.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the one guy called it. You know, he was like, "I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm not here to talk about the past."
Yeah.
I don't know. There was one of the congressmen called him like Mac McGlory or something like that. Like just completely ruined his name.
It's funny. Speaking of politics, Mac McGlory was my favorite character on The West Wing. I mean, really solid character arc there. You ever watched The West Wing?
Heard of it?
Yeah, I've watched it 2 or 3 times. It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's Senator Ted Kennedy calling him Sammy Souser and Mike McGuire.
Well, he was a little Sammy Sousered.
Probably parodied on The Simpsons at one point too.
Let's answer some viewer mail questions, Chris, if you don't mind. Oh my goodness! Now, I have to warn everyone that this podcast is likely to end at any moment because someone left their laptop charger at work, and so his laptop's about to go. We won't say which one of us it is, but his initials are Chad Dotson. And so if it just ends, I could try pulling up my phone and doing it, but no. I'll
just carry on by myself.
If my laptop goes off, you just go as long as you want. And the podcast won't get posted tonight because I don't have a laptop. So let's try to rush through these if we can.
Do it.
First question. These questions, as always, come from our friends at patreon.com/riverfrontcincy. Kyle Kapler.
Sorry, can I just ask the listeners to do us a favor? You can go in your podcast settings right now, turn it to double speed. That way we'll finish faster and Chad's laptop battery won't wear out. Sorry.
Save my battery. I talk too fast anyway. You can listen to any podcast on double speed, but you can't listen to this one because I talk too fast. I gotta stop that. But we're all pros here. Kyle Kapler, what actor will play Nick Kroll when Moneyball 2 is released? What actor will play Nick
McLovin?
McLovin? You think so?
Yeah. Nick Lovin's getting to be, probably 30 by now, 35. I think he can do it. He's available.
All right, that's the answer. Whoever the guy is, I think that's his actual name, McLovin. Brandon Kamick added on to that question. And so who plays Phil in Moneyball 2? And what would the budget be for his hair gel? And here's what I like. I like when our our friends at patreon.com/riverfrontcincy ask questions and then also answer them. So I don't have to do any answering. So Kyle answered that question. Playing Phil would be Mark Ruffalo. And the budget for his hair gel would be $4.99 with a weekly digital deal from the Kroger app. I can't answer better than that.
It's very good.
You think Ruffalo plays you in the Riverfront movie?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. Yeah. Okay.
I used to get that. No, you know who I used to get a lot? The guy who played Rudy.
Oh, really? Sean Astin?
Sean Astin.
Is that the guy?
I don't think it holds up anymore.
Did it once hold up though?
Wilford Brimley.
Oh, I used to get one of those, but I'm not going to say who because it's embarrassing now that I don't look like that person any longer. Next question.
B. Arthur?
The immortal B. Arthur. It was B. Arthur. I've said for years that when they make the movie of this show, I'm going to be played by Melissa McCarthy. That's my goal.
She's a delight.
She is a delight. Hilarious. Mark Hyden. We should have brought this one in earlier. Mark has his only question. He just wants to know who's in the best shape of their life.
B. Arthur.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah. B. Arthur is not in the best shape of her life. She may be in the best shape of her death.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Joey Gaditza, who's going to hit the first long ball at Great American Ballpark this season?
Who's the visiting team on opening day?
Oh, that's not funny. That's not nice. The first one is going to be hit by Nick Senzel. Speak it into existence, Chris Garber.
You don't believe that any more than I do.
You're not helpful. You're just not helpful. Seth Shaner, what 3 current or former Reds players or managers would you like to enjoy a meal with? Mine would have to be Joey Votto, Eric Davis, and Sparky Anderson. So current or former Reds players to enjoy a meal with. Those are good. To me, there's only one answer for the first one here. Dusty Baker has to be in that list, right?
Yeah, I think I take send Eric back out, and I might keep the other 2.
Joey and Sparky? And would you bring in Dusty or is there someone else?
No. Well, Dusty, yeah, I think that's a great call. Dusty, Votto, and who's the guy that tried to kidnap the Kaiser? Lee McPhail.
Yes, Lee McPhail. Oh my goodness, I forgot about that story. Fantastic.
I don't know if that made it into our book or not, but it's,
who knows? We had so many dumb anecdotes that we just couldn't fit in.
Lee McPhail's dad is anyway.
There we go. Go Google that one or look at our book. It may be in there. You read the whole thing and let us know what's in there.
Larry McPhail. That's who it is.
Okay, there we go. Rich Thompson. Oh, man. Since fitness and nutrition is essential for top-performing athletes, Stockus, do you think that the current generation of Reds players would be open to bringing back the 1972 to 1990 circa form-fitting uniforms that encouraged sveltness versus today's more loose-fitting, girth-friendly uniforms? We've literally, Rich brought the term girth-friendly uniforms to the show. Thank you, Rich.
I appreciate that.
Are they loose these days?
I don't know. I was thinking with the basketball shorts going back to the prefab 5 lengths, I would expect baseball uniforms to they're pretty snug these days. I was watching a college game last night and looked like they're wearing leggings out there.
Going back to soccer that we mentioned a moment ago, you got clips from a while back. They got all these baggy Umbro uniforms, and but today's some of those teams they get order them 2 sizes too small. Everybody likes showing off their physique. So I think most players, I'm not sure the Graham Ashcrafts would care for the the pajama style, the hefty boys that Nate always likes to talk about. I'm not sure they would approve of that, but sure, bring it back.
But what was the fella's name? Who was the fella that used to be on the Reds? It was all lifty weights. Lorenzen.
Michael Lorenzen. Oh, he'd love it. He was all lifty weights. Now that you mention it, I thought you were going to mention Cal Pickering.
34 years old. Can you believe that?
Really?
I could be lying.
You probably are.
You don't have time to check.
I do not. Rex Scott. No question. But wait, no question. But I do have a rant. I grew up in Southern Ohio, but have lived in Southern Arizona for 31 years. When I got here, there was spring training where I live in Tucson and even in Yuma. Took a train there once. I think I left at 3:10. Now, if you want to see any of the games, you have to go to Phoenix.
Alfalfa in Yuma.
Oh, yeah. You have to go to Phoenix or one of its suburbs like Goodyear, where the Reds are. MLB got tired of paying for buses, I guess, but for those of us who live outside of Maricopa County, it's another reason to resent them. They have more than half our population. They run state government. Flights are cheaper at their airport, and you also have to go up there to see most big-name concerts. Somehow we got into an Arizona rant here, Rex.
I don't know what kind of podcast you think you're on, Rex.
Oh, man, you think you join the family? You can just rant about local politics. And
I'll tell you about this zoning hearing the other night.
Well, it comes to a crescendo. Rex is using this as an opportunity to poke at me because he finishes by saying, that reminds me to let Chad know that I scored Springsteen tickets earlier this week. He'll be in Phoenix later this year. So I hope you catch him at a local school board hearing in Phoenix.
I have no sympathy for Rex and his cohorts out there since I got a speeding ticket in Yuma once.
Oh, no.
Undeserved.
Were you going 310?
I was going 85, but it wasn't deserved.
Yeah, really. Come on. Oh, Rex. Dwight Kelly, has there been any news this week regarding TV broadcasts? What's the latest?
Oh, I have this one.
Okay, this is all yours.
Yeah, it's called Poker Face on Peacock. It's really good if you're a fan of procedural mysteries like Columbo or Rockford Files. You really enjoy it. They come out once a week, so you don't have to binge them all. It's on Peacock, Poker Face. Brought to you by Ryan Johnson, director of The Glass Onion.
Yeah, and one of the Star Wars movies. Ryan Johnson. Yeah, and it also stars, I can't remember her name now, but
it's a girl from that show.
Yeah, you'll know her when you see her. She's good. So I've been wanting to watch that. I've been watching
really
The Last of Us. The Last of Us is what I've been watching. It's pretty good. Pretty good. No complaints. The last couple episodes very strong. It keeps.
That's one of the Atari games, right?
Yeah, it was on the Atari. It was on the Atari. No, that was Missile Command. That's coming out next year. Missile Command. Very few you got that one's for me and Chris. Last question comes from Hooper Powell. Hooper says the big NCAA round ball tournament is around the corner, starting with Amir Garrett. Who's the next ex or current Red in the starting five? I guess for the Reds. Ex or current Reds in the starting five, including Amir Garrett. So I guess presume we're making a basketball team now. So Justin Dunn, brother of a UVA basketball player, is on the team.
Smart,
but he's on the bench because his shoulder's hurting.
I got Tim Burtsis, former left-hand pitcher, 6'7". How's he sound?
Came over in the trade where the Reds sent Dave Parker to the A's.
Jose
Rio as well. Tim Burtsis.
And Burtsis is also traded for Ricky Henderson with Jose Rio the first time.
Oh, wow. That's true. Yeah. To the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or from the, I don't know, whatever. Hal Morris. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just throwing out names. Joe Oliver. Who else is on this basketball team? Bobby Tolan. Oh,
no,
too soon. Too soon. Go look that one up. Bobby Tolan on the Reds.
How about Barry Larkin?
Barry Larkin. Yeah, that's a one. I bet he's
got a brother and a kid who are pretty good basketball players.
Yeah. Brother played for Xavier. Getting under people's skin there.
Xavier.
You know, supposedly pretty good.
His son was an ACC player, right?
Oh, yeah. Played for Miami. Yeah. They say Joey Votto was a pretty good little basketball player. Do you believe this?
Is that true?
Yeah. He used to say, I would believe anything about Joey. He used to say whenever he retired, he was going to, go to college because he never went to college and walk on some Canadian college basketball team.
Like, what's his face? The guy that called the timeout for the Cavs.
The guy that called the timeout for the
Smith.
Cavs. J.R. Smith. That's right. He's playing college golf now.
Yeah.
So.
I'd love to see it. You can tell me Votto is like secretly got a pilot's license, has been flying for TWA, and I'd believe it. I'd believe anything.
That's a question. Is there any story about Joey Votto that is so outrageous that you wouldn't believe, at least think for a moment and be like, that could be true? I don't think there is.
No, he's been secretly writing like advice columns for Vice.com. I'd believe it. Like there's literally nothing you could tell me I wouldn't believe.
We need to spend a full hour sometime just talking about just saying outlandish things about Joey Votto and pretending like they're true. Chris, we made it almost to an hour, and my laptop's still here, so I hope I have some juice to get it posted. But if not,
set your player back to 1x speed.
That's right. You can do that. Save some of my battery. Chris, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Go Reds. Go
Reds. At Riverfront Cincy, I'm not saying all the rest of that stuff because I just don't know if this is going to survive long enough for me to post this podcast. I'm sorry. This is the least professional show. I will say some exciting news coming up in the next couple of weeks. I hear from the Riverfront, so stay tuned for Chris Garber and Byron Larkin. I don't know. This is Chad Dotson saying, so long, everyone.